Are you still looking for more resources? Of course you are. You always need more resources for your after school program, and you know they're out there, but how do you wade through all of the great resources to find the ones that rise to the top and that work for your specific program? That's what this series is about. Again, my name is Ryan Stoyer from Magnify Learning, and we're working with the Indian After School Network to provide you with some resources to go along with the Million Girls Moonshot, which is trying to get 1 million girls into STEM. So let's jump in. What you see on the screen is a 1-minute series of some great quotes to bring to your program. We've got 5-minute resources and 20-minute resources that take a little extra time to dive into. Your time is diverted into a bunch of different pockets, so we want to give you some options. Well, this really great one where we have kids giving TED Talks. I love the content of the TED Talk, but I also like the idea that our learners could be giving these TED Talks. Maybe that is your next activity, is you prepare your kids to do a TED Talk right in your youth program. Would love that idea. Some practical resources of what can I do today. This group invent.org has some really great resources. Water balloon parachutes, to me that's engaging. Maybe it's not for all of your learners, but how do we get this water balloon to safely land by building a parachute? Sounds super cool. I also put on your resource page a section where they have multiple activities that you can choose from, so you can walk through those. And since this section, this is resource video number 3, is really about role models and mentors, here's a blog that you can go through and talks about role models. An interesting twist on this is it talks about positive role models or negative role models, right? It can go both ways. And we know that. We see that with our youth all the time. Where are they looking to for a role model? And it gives you 5 top qualities of a role model, gives you this infographic to look at, and you can have your learners dive in deeper, but also helpful for our youth staff to realize that role models can be positive and negative, and that our youth, boots on the ground, are role models. So what does it look like to lean into that role model piece? PBS has an excellent resource that allows you to reach out to some women in STEM. And here they've got some short, less than 5-minute videos. It's why it's in this section, although it might take you more because there are a ton here, but you can see which ones most relate to your youth. Who are they going to most gravitate towards, do you think? So wonderful resource where you can get some folks that are in the field into your youth program really quickly and expose them to fields that are maybe outside of their network. We know that there's research that shows that when our youth are interacting with STEM professionals, that they're more likely to see themselves in that role and then jump into that role. Some 20-minute resources or plus. So this Coaching Habit is a book that I absolutely love for my coaching practice, and I think you'll love it too. It gives you 7 questions, and you don't have to be a professional coach to this, but 7 questions you can start to ask your youth to just bring out more of their life, to bring out more of their energy. Some great questions of just changing, instead of like, hey, how are you doing? Asking, what's on your mind? That little switch right there can really change your conversations, and this book is a great way to do it. Highly recommend it for PD. Here's a webinar that you can dive into from STEM Next. Role Models Drive Equity Part 1, which certainly leads you to believe that there's a Part 2 and there's actually a Part 3. So great series of how important role models can be to our youth as we try to bring them into STEM fields. And especially here in Indiana, we have a lot of opportunity for our youth to do so. So hopefully these resources are helpful, and you know there's a lot out there. So here's a quick snapshot of some that you can bring right to your program right away. So bring them there. Make sure that you can dive in, and don't be average, be awesome.